Hello everyone and welcome to Kaywon Action Star. This is a movie recap channel, and today we'll begin giving you a detailed recap, including the very interesting intricate twist in the action thriller film. Before we get to the storyline, I'd like to wish you a happy great day, and hope that today ends well for you. Now, let's get right into it. A dangerous criminal has taken his victim hostage and he is threatening to kill if his demands are not met. So, the movie kicks off with a tensed and very high-stake hostage scenario on a bridge, establishing the tension and chaotic tone that will define the whole events and story of this film. A hostage situation unfolds, with law enforcement trying to manage a volatile standoff between them and the hostage taker. Detective Quentin Connors, a fine officer known for his sharp instincts, but retains some crude and unrepentant history of uniquely controversial and unconventional methods. He was seen to be the one leading the negotiations. Connors is the embodiment of chaos within the police force. He's a man whose methods are unconventional and whose past mistakes haunt him. His demeanor during the intense negotiations is calm though, yet is firm. Thus, showcasing his confidence in handling pressure. That said, however, as the situation escalates, Connors makes a critical decision that goes against standard protocol. It was his choice to authorize a sniper to take down the hostage taker. An action which was against standard protocol, because their post-analysis suggested that the situation had not been fully de-escalated, and the risk to the hostage's safety was still high at the time of his order. Connors nonetheless believed that taking out the criminal quickly would end the standoff without further harm. That was what he thought, and so, he ordered for the trigger being the leader of the negotiations. Unfortunately, that singular decision he took backfired when the hostage-taker moved unexpectedly just when the sniper took his irreversible shot, causing a devastating miss at the intended target and the imminent, yet deadly damage to the hostage whom they all sought to save. Expectedly, the resulting chaos led to the death of the hostage, which was perceived as Connors' fault. His decision not only cost a life but also destroyed Connors' whole reputation within the force, and with the public too. Hence, serving as the catalyst for his suspension and the lingering mistrust from his colleagues. This soon later impacts on his role in the course of time. Connors faced harsh criticism both from his peers, superiors and the media. Blame for the failed operation falls squarely on him. His reputation was greatly tarnished, and he was then suspended from the force. All that brought to bear, the unpredictability and consequences of the reality of decision-making as a team lead in the force. While positioning Connors as a flawed officer, he was yet considered a pivotal figure within the force. A few moments later, almost like days or a few weeks just after Connors was suspended, and we see during a regular business day when a group of armed and masked robbers storms into a large city bank. Their movement is highly coordinated, almost militaristic, as they secure the building, disable the security systems, and take control of everyone inside the bank as hostages. The leader of the group is Lorenz, who introduces himself and immediately sets the tone in the hall for his calm, calculated and full control. Unlike a typical heist, Lorenz's approach is methodical, and his demands seemed unusual. Though the police and other armed forces have surrounded the whole place, Lorenz insists that he will only speak with just one and only one person. Guess who he says he will speak to? Detective Quentin Connors. He demanded that Detective Connors be brought in to handle the negotiations. This request baffles the police since Connors is currently suspended from duty, but Lorenz refuses to speak to anyone else. Inside the bank, the hostages are instructed to stay calm. Lorenz and his team ensuring their compliance using every means possible, without unnecessary violence. The robbers plant small explosives around the bank to discourage any outside interference, thereby creating a sense of unease for the police and the hostages alike. As the police scramble to meet Lorenz's demands, the negotiation begins when Connors is brought in reluctantly, and paired with Shane Decker, a young detective eager to prove himself in the force. Lorenz engages Connors in conversation, making cryptic remarks and providing little information about his intentions. His composure and the complexity of his plan leave the police unsure of how to proceed. After a tense period of back and forth, the situation takes a surprising turn. Explosions are set off within the bank, causing chaos but leaving all the hostages unharmed. In that confusion, Lorenz and his team manage to vanish without a trace. When the police finally storm the bank, they discover that no money is missing from the vaults. This adds to the mystery after demanding to speak only to Connors. The police soon figures that the robbers didn't need the physical money. All they did, which was what they actually wanted, was to use the bank's computer systems to execute an intricate digital theft, transferring large sums electronically during the heist. The operation demonstrates Lorenz's intelligence and ability to manipulate situations to his advantage, leaving the investigators with more questions than answers. Now, remember that Detective Connors is paired with Detective Shane Decker, a rookie who admires Connors' past work and is very eager to impress the police force. From the outset, Connors and Decker are an unlikely pair due to the unique contrasts between their personalities. Connors is a veteran detective with a tarnished reputation due to his suspension over a failed operation. His demeanor is hardened, pragmatic, and unapologetically abrasive. Sharply contrasting is Decker, who is new to the field, and brimming with enthusiasm and a strong belief in following procedures and the rule of law. He respects Connors' previous accomplishments but is wary of his methods, especially given the cloud of controversy surrounding him. The root of their tension lies in their opposing philosophies. Decker, however, represents a moral counterbalance to Connors. While Connors accuses Decker of being too soft, Decker questions whether Connors' methods are fueled by wisdom or recklessness. Despite their differences, Connors and Decker occasionally find common ground. As the investigation progresses, Decker begins to see the value in Connors' experience and intuition. Connors, in turn, recognizes Decker's intelligence and fresh perspective. So during the investigation into how the bank heist went, we see Decker and Connors begin piecing together the crime scene and the information they gathered even while Connors spoke with Lorenz. They then notice that Lorenz is calculated and has deliberately used some kind of theory and coded communication as part of his plan. Meanwhile, Connors struggles with the hostility of his colleagues, who blame him for his past failures. As the detectives dig into Lorenz's motivations, they find inconsistencies. Lorenz appears to be one step ahead of them at every turn, taunting the team with cryptic messages referencing chaos theory. Decker, from his little picks and pieces of information, grows increasingly suspicious of Connors, whose actions seem to indicate that he knows more about the case than he lets on. At the same time, the team discovers that some of the heist crew members are ex-cops, adding layers to the conspiracy. Lorenz's plan is far more elaborate than anyone anticipated. It's not just about money but about exposing corruption and seeking revenge by all means possible. The chase. After piecing together clues about Lorenz's next move, Connors and Decker narrow in on his location, leading to a dramatic confrontation into an urban car high chase, showcasing cunningness of Lorenz and the heavy desperation of the police to apprehend him. The pursuit is in an urban setting, with Lorenz and his team using their knowledge of the city's layout to evade capture. They employ clever tactics to outmaneuver the police, including strategic use of decoy vehicles, sharp turns into narrow alleyways, and switching cars mid-chase. Lorenz's confidence and ability to anticipate the police's moves are on full display, frustrating Connors and his team. Decker, as the rookie, follows protocol, while Connors takes a more aggressive approach, willing to bend rules to keep up with Lorenz. This contrast in their methods creates additional tension between the two detectives, as they must balance their conflicting styles while pursuing a common goal. The chase escalates as Lorenz leads the detectives into more dangerous terrain, including high-speed stretches through crowded streets and sharp turns that put innocent civilians at risk. This event emphasizes the chaos of the situation, with rapid cuts between the robbers' precision driving and the police's increasingly desperate attempts to close the gap. At one point, Lorenz orchestrates a move that highlights his strategic mind. He feigns heading in one direction, luring the majority of the police force into a dead end, while he and his team take a different route to escape. Connors and Decker, realizing they've been outmaneuvered, are left scrambling to pick up the trail. Despite the chaos, Lorenz remains composed, taunting the detectives by leading them just close enough to give hope before slipping away again. By the end of the chase, Lorenz manages to disappear completely, leaving the police frustrated and humiliated. This sequence underscores Lorenz's intelligence and ability to thrive in high-pressure situations, reinforcing his role as a formidable antagonist. It also adds to the tension between Connors and Decker, as the rookie begins to question whether Connors' methods are truly effective or simply reckless. As the investigation into Lorenz's heist nears its conclusion, the detectives begin piecing together his intricate plan. And in a very shocking twist, however, it becomes clear that not everything is as it seems as the story takes an unexpected turn when all evidence begins to point to Detective Connors as a grand mastermind of the long unsolved heist. After a series of confrontations, Connors and Decker finally corner Lorenz. During the encounter, Lorenz reveals key pieces of his plan, exposing that the heist wasn't just about money, it was a meticulously crafted scheme to exploit the chaos and corruption within the system. This revelation ties back to Lorenz's earlier references to chaos theory, where small, seemingly unrelated actions can create large, unpredictable consequences. The twist occurs when Lorenz hints that someone on the inside has been aiding him. All signs begin to point toward Connors. As Decker processes this, further evidence surfaces suggesting Connors' involvement in the heist. It's revealed that Connors played a dual role, using his reinstatement as a cover to participate in Lorenz's plan. He had been orchestrating events behind the scenes, leveraging his knowledge of police procedures and his tarnished reputation to manipulate everyone around him. Connors' betrayal. The betrayal is particularly shocking for Decker, who has spent the entire investigation navigating his distrust of Connors while still respecting his skills. Decker realizes that Connors had been steps ahead of him all along, using their partnership to deflect suspicion and execute his part of the scheme. Connors' motives are complex. While financial gain is a factor, his actions also appear to stem from disillusionment with the system. He exposes flaws in law enforcement and demonstrates how easily it can be manipulated under the right circumstances. In his own way, Connors justifies his betrayal as a means of reclaiming control in a world ruled by chaos. As the truth comes to light, Lorenz capitalizes on the confusion to make his escape. His exit is as calculated as the rest of his plan, leaving no trace behind. The police are left empty-handed, with Lorenz vanishing into obscurity. His ability to outwit the system reinforces his role as a mastermind who thrives on unpredictability. The fallout from the twist leaves a lasting impact on Decker. His idealism is shattered as he grapples with the betrayal of a partner he reluctantly trusted. He keeps reflecting on the case, questioning his own beliefs about justice and the morality of law enforcement. Connors' whereabouts remain unknown, but hints suggest he successfully disappeared with his share of the stolen funds. The open-ended nature of his fate leaves viewers questioning whether he truly won or if his victory comes at the cost of his integrity. Decker is left to pick up the pieces, but the entire experience has clearly changed him. The case serves as a harsh lesson in the complexities of human behavior, the unpredictability of chaos, and the moral gray areas of justice. The ending reinforces the film's central message: in a world ruled by chaos, control is an illusion, and everyone is just a piece in a larger game. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more. See you in our next one. Cheers.